I mean, it feels good, but I would be lying if I told you that, like, that comes with overconfidence because, I just see all the areas that we can get better in. And to truly feel the way I feel, and to your point, be undefeated 13 wins at home is good, I suppose. It's a great place to play. They're a fantastic crowd.
How much of Matisse being in down the stretch there was how he was playing, or had Josh already reached what you had set for him tonight?
A little of both. I thought Matisse was really good. He was our bell ringer tonight. It was Jay Rich's first game back, which seems like an eternity. I feel like he's been out for an awfully long time. And so a combination of both of that. I will say that Jay Rich making the shot, making the three was huge. I mean, during that timely sort of stretch, I think his single made basket was big.
What were you most impressed about with Al's second half as compared to his first half?
I just felt like we started not turning the ball over. Al started, coming to jump stops, and I thought there was like a attack mentality. I thought he did a good job of continuing to stay aggressive offensively. Those types of things.
That stretch where Matisse hit the three and they got the offensive rebound.
Yeah. I mean, you can feel the building light up. He really is an energy giver when he can make those types of plays. He continues to just move up the food chain in relation to sort of the confidence as the head coach you have in him, and that his teammates are growing to have in him.
Struggled to score late at the end of the game, but you guarded them also really well. But speaking of offensively, what were you trying to do to walk down that game?
Trying to go through Joe, trying to get Tobias the ball. A few times we looked at Ben, in some pick and roll type stuff, and just not stopping the play and letting him play out of it. It was a physical game. I mean, if you look at it was 16-14 in the last period. For both teams, we found difficulty scoring, and I think that for me, like, we're going through Joe a lot, and that's that.
It's felt like a struggle for you guys to get Joel going for like the entirety of the game. He has these good stretches.
Sorry, I can't hear you, Kyle.
So it feels like we haven't seen many sustained great stretches from Joel. He has these spurts where he's been impactful on either end, but maybe not over the course of an entire game. So what needs to change for him to get?
I think for me, it's always about, like, the passing out of the post. I thought he had, one turnover tonight in the fourth period at the post. I thought he did a good job. How many assists did he end up with? Yeah, so we need to, I think, look at that a little bit. And he's a lightning rod for double teams or deep digs. It's like, for me, it's a lot. It's like, who do you put in the slot? That first pass out of it needs to be a good shooter. And so to go away from that, I'm not doing that. And I think to just get him feeling comfortable, confident, deep catches, spacing around him, willingness, which he has shown to pass, that's what we're going to do. Now, what I will tell you is, if you just go back to some of the recent games, we put Tobias in a lot of stuff, with middle pick and rolls, sort of wing isos or wing sideline pick and rolls. At times we've gone to Ben. And I think, like, when you have a second dribbler, a pick and roll guy in Jay Rich, it's going to open up more options. But it's always on our mind. It's stuff we always try to, get better and better at. And that's the mission of the season.
You mentioned the physicality of the game. What did you think of your team defense? But obviously only let up 92 points tonight. What did you think of the defensive effort overall?
I mean, they had 6 points in the final 7 minutes. That's pretty good, right? That's pretty good. It's a team that can score. I think they average 107 points. And, as I've said all along, it's going to be great when our offense can catch our defense. And, end of game stuff, same. Like that's I think our end of game defense is pretty special. And it's holding us together it's holding us to be able to talk about those wins at home while you just, figuring out some offensive stuff. And as I said, I think that we're getting better in some areas, and I think Jay Rich will add another dimension to kind of go along with that group and Matisse's game-by-game improvement. I think if you looked at the stat sheet, it might not reveal what he really did defensively in the second half. I thought defensively in the second half he was elite. And I too, seeing him just an emerging, more sophisticated point guard, somebody that's understanding a little bit better about who needs the ball and recognizing like clocks and 2-for-1 type stuff. I think that his stat sheet wouldn't reflect really how well I think he played, especially defensively.
There was a stretch in the game when Tobias really kind of began taking the game over. What did you really kind of see from him offensively again tonight?
Just that, and I think we're seeing that more and more and more. When Rich, you're asking about like what are we trying to do down the stretch, like he factors into some of the go-to guys we want to play through a lot. And whether we're dropping him into the post, whether we're playing him on a sideline pick and roll, a little bit of ISO. I thought we had a sneaky backdoor possibility that they fouled and we'd take it back out on the side. But, putting him in those types of environments, he has been good at, and he did it again tonight in that stretch that you're talking about.
Do you think that was some of your best transition offense kind of in the second quarter?
I did, yeah.
What makes that? Just get stops defensively?
No, it's deeper than that. It's do you have committed people that seek extreme corners? Like, do you keep the court spaced and spread? And then it's like, okay, we don't want people that beg for balls. Like, if you don't have it, whoever, like, take off too, and like this guy conquers the middle. And so, like, you get dribble out guys that can conquer the middle and play downhill. You get corners filled, and you get the trailing people like figuring out flip and follow stuff or other floor spots that have space. Then you have an offense all by itself in the first 3, 4, 5 seconds that's organized and spaced and attack. And I think that we did a pretty good job of that.